Hey everybody, going to try something new this week. Going to give you a little preview of what's going on in the life of Liberty Baptist Church this week. I know I write the blog at fillmyfaith.com, but I understand not everybody reads that, and so maybe do a video and catch everybody, give you a little preview of what's going on. This week, sermon-wise, we're going to be bringing a sermon called He Loves Me, He Loves Me Not. You know, and you remember that little childish game that you used to play to discern true love where you pick the petals off a flower, and each time you pick one off, you're asking that question: does she love me, or does she love me not? You know, that's a pretty dumb way to discern true love in the end, because we're trying to base someone's love for us on something that's totally circumstantial, something that's completely random, like how many petals are on this flower, rather than basing the question on whether or not somebody loves us on what they have actually done or said or contributed to our lives. And you know, we play that game with God quite a bit with the circumstances of life. We go through life, and if something positive happens, we pluck that off and go, well, God must love me. Well, if two negative things happen, then we pluck those things off and we go, well, God must not love me anymore. And you know, when we do that, we're basing God's love for us on the circumstances of life, not based on what He has actually said, who He actually is, or what He has actually done to demonstrate His love for the world. You know, this week in the Dirt series, we're going to talk about that, discerning the true love of God for our lives through the circumstances of life, because a lot of times, if we pick and pluck the flowers and the petals in the circumstances, we can be easily misled and not understand who God is. Because in the stories that we come to in Genesis chapter 22 to Genesis chapter 25 this week, we lose two of our beloved characters in the story, Abraham and Sarah. They pass away. Sarah dies before Abraham, and then the mundane business of life and family continues on. Abraham has to find a burial plot for his beloved wife Sarah, and then he has to find a bride for his son Isaac, and Isaac is faced with the same thing Abraham experienced with Sarah, and that is their struggle with infertility. And you know, you have the purchasing of ground, you have the seeking of a wife, you have the loss of a father, you have the hardship of prayer. I mean, it's very much life in Genesis chapter 22 to 25. And yet behind it all is this question: is the steadfast love of God continuing to be behind the story, behind the circumstances? Is God still loving towards His people and bringing them to the point of blessing? And so you may have been through a lot of things in your life, the loss of a loved one, a mom or a dad, or some circumstances have been going on to you here lately, and man, you pluck those things off and you're like, I'm just not really sure God loves me anymore. Hey, listen, this would be a great sermon for you to come or bring somebody with you to hear what we're going to talk about from the Bible this week, and you may find some real answers to things that your heart is seeking. So be with us Sunday in the two morning services, 8:45 and 11. Also, a couple other things going on. Lookouts game Friday night. Hope to see you there for that. Me and my family will be there. And then don't forget the sign-ups for Impact Camp for our youth this summer. That's on Sunday. And then also, like I put in the bulletin last week, I want to go to lunch with you. I love going to lunch with the people from our church and getting to know you. You can know your friends, business people, and leaders, and politicians, and principals, and whoever you're connected with. If we can sit down and have lunch together and get to know one another and figure out how I can serve you as your pastor, and how Liberty Baptist Church can serve our community and just do something incredible here, let's sit down and eat lunch together and get to know one another. So give me a call. Let's schedule that. Actually, John Davis took me to lunch today, and we went to the Happy Chicken, and my hands, and I feel like I need to take a shower because I smell like a happy chicken right now. But it was really good, and so I'm very happy. So let's go eat lunch sometime next week or the week after that, whenever you have some time, and continue to pray about the great things that God is doing here at Liberty. We've been growing. There's been new people coming, and curious about what God's doing here, so you keep inviting folks, you be faithful to attend, and let's talk about this on Sunday. He loves me, or He loves me not, from the Dirt series. God bless. I will see you Sunday morning.